Okay, traders, on to the last video mapping the trend. Counter trend lines, quite a vital tool actually in the arsenal. And so with the counter trend line, I've gone from the trend line break and what we can expect with the trend line break, cleared a few things up in the book as well. So the trend line topics category on the whole in the Astro FX book is it's quite big. It's quite big. There's a lot of information in there as well. So if you use that in conjunction with these videos, it will clear a lot of things up. And again, once more, the trade examples at the end and also the live weekly breakdowns are going to clear a lot of this up as well in real time. So don't worry. So these concepts are something that you're going to have to work on. Chart time, chart time, chart time, but just don't go chart crazy. Okay. So once you've got a gist of the overall trend, the market direction, then we can step into the counter trend lines. We're using the counter trend lines on the 4 hour and the 2 hour, sometimes on the hourly. That's more or less going to be super intraday if we're going down to the hourly time frame. But I don't suggest going there just yet because you can get a little bit too confused and you'll be looking for too many counter trend lines. It's just a mess. And I've already mentioned in the last video, you only want to be using this tool if there's a clear trend direction. You can't really use this in cut areas of market consolidation and so forth. Okay, so let's just get started then. So anyway, at the end of the book, there's a checklist. I might put it up shortly. But for now, I'm on page 111, and I'm just going to more or less talk through this concept here. So the overall trend line, we have point 1 to point 2, and we have a potential third point here. Now that's a daily, because I remember when I did this is the GBP USD. The blue one is the daily. The area across there is a weekly area of resistance at 1.5 or monthly, I can't remember. Actually, no, it's a monthly area of resistance. 1.58, sorry, which I have modified since then. Okay. So what we can see here, we've gone from point 1 to point 2. I've countered the overall trend direction and momentum. Obviously, I couldn't trade this one here or this one here. Actually, you could have traded this one here if you spotted this at an early rate. But remember, we want to wait for the legs to unfold on point 1 and 2. So we have point 3 over here. Now the third bounce and stuff, that rule does not apply to counter trend lines. These are simply tools we want to plot onto the chart in order to await the market to break through them and create new lows after. So we're not going for, let's say, the third bounce on a counter trend line. No, we're not going for a target of point 2 or point 1. Sometimes, yeah, we can go for point 1 as a target upon a break. But the counter trend line is a standalone tool, so just remember that, guys. So anyway, we're down on the 4 hour, 2 hour at the moment. So point 1, point 2 gone across, and the same concept of crossover, breakout. So where I've highlighted the green, MA cross and breakout, short sell, MA cross and breakout, short sell. That is where you're going to be placing your sell. So remember, there's a time at the edge of your charts on any time frame below a daily, which is going to count down the hours or minutes there is until that candle actually forms. So just remember that. So wait for the candlestick to form. Wait for the candlestick to form before executing your trade. Look at the bigger picture as well, where we're bouncing from in terms of, okay, what candlesticks can we see? Are we at monthly resistance, weekly resistance, daily resistance? Are we at third point of a trend line ready to potentially bounce off and break? So as I pulled up earlier on the AUD USD, the AUD USD on the 4 hour time frame, I said there's a potential for Aussie to maybe come up. So let's remove some of this. There's a potential for Aussie to maybe come up and give us a third bounce short. Anywhere around here, really. Okay, so that's our projection. We know the Aussie is bearish overall as well, okay, on the weekly. Potential reversal on the daily as well because we broke the daily trend line. So this is what we can maybe expect. Maybe Aussie could just melt straight from here. Yes, I've already mentioned that too. But as an example, let's say the Aussie did come or back up to this level. Now this is a 4-hour time frame. Sometimes if you try to draw counter trend lines on a 4-hour basis, sometimes you might not be able to get the full potential of that. So what's good to do is always just maybe flick down to the 2-hour. So the current counter trend line I can see on the 2-hour Aussie is this one here at the moment. So a safe entry would be wait for the crossover to occur, wait for the price to dribble down, break through, the candle to close on the 2-hour time frame, then sell. Stops would have to go above the last highs. Or better still, if Aussie could maybe take its time to pull back all the way up to this region, we could maybe draw another counter trend line. If the price structure gives us the ability to do that, which would look something like that there, wait for it to bounce, form a reversal around this point here. So at the third bounce, we're just below the daily area of resistance, wait for the breakout, close, go short, and then follow the lead there. So counter trend lines are going to come in different gradients once more, just highlighting the time frames to use those on and so on. I can't really go into full detail, but I do recommend just going through a chart, zooming out onto the chart, going back in time, and just going through and just having a little bit of practice of drawing them. That's what I do on the actual one-to-one course as well. Just go through and have a practice of drawing the counter trend lines. Because if we use historical data, at least we can see, you know, if there's the price bullish or bearish going forward. And as I say, they're like little lids in an uptrend and supported bottoms on a downtrend. And all we're waiting for is the break and close. So we have 1, crossover, 2, break and close. And that's a beautiful break there. Okay, again, looking like a shooting star as well. Short into new lows, made new lows. So if you compare this, so that's the last lower low, lower high, lower lows formed, pull back to make a lower high. Lower low has formed. Can you see here? That point is lower than the previous, and this is how the counter trend lines operate. So you go one direction to the next direction, one direction to the next direction, and again, they come in different gradients. So we just have to get a little bit savvy with them. Again, don't stick to the counter trend lines overall. They're brilliant just for mapping out trends, okay, jumping on trends, but don't limit ourselves to that and just try. Well, you will get more experience in configuring what trend we are in. Are we trending to the upside, downside, or sideways? But I'm going to help you on the live videos as much as I can and try to throw in some live trade examples there too. So counter trend lines, some more information in the book as well. But just go through and just pull some up, have a little bit of a practice and a play around. So that is that. Also, guys, you've got channels as well in the book. I'm not going to go through that on the videos unless I spot some on the weekly breakdowns. We can go through and read that as well. Yeah, and some more examples there. So that's the end of the trend line section, to be honest, mapping out the trends. I hope that's helped. Next, I'm going to go into Fibonacci, which is quite an interesting section and one of my favorites personally. So that's that counter trend line application, 4-hour, 2-hour in the direction of the overall trend. Looking for the moving average crossover and the breakout. Thank you.